In this world, there are two types of souls. There are those who use the harsh words of others as a shield, and there are those who swallow those words like poison, letting them rot their spirit from the inside. Our story begins with Leo, a man whose heart was once light, but was now heavy with the shadows of judgment. Leo lived in a small, crowded village where whispers were louder than the wind. He was a man of quiet dreams, believing that kindness was the path to a better life. But the world around him was not kind. Every morning, as Leo opened his small shop, the mockery would begin. "Look at him," his neighbors would sneer. "Still trying to succeed? Don't you know you're a failure, Leo? Your dreams are just dust." Leo would bow his head, feeling his hands tremble. He wanted to scream, to defend his soul, but his voice was trapped in a cage of fear. He realized he was becoming a prisoner of their opinions. He returned with a full cup of water and handed it to the monk, living for people who didn't even care if he lived or died. His light was fading, and he knew he had to find a way to become invisible to their poison. One sleepless night, Leo sat in the silence of his room, but the voices of his enemies were a deafening roar in his mind. He could still feel the sting of the laughter from the marketplace. "Why?" he whispered to the shadows. "Why can't I just be invisible to them?" He had heard legends of a wise monk who lived at the edge of the world, a man who possessed a shield of silence and could smile in the middle of a war. Without waiting for the sun, Leo packed his grief into a small bag and set out on a journey to find the truth. The journey was brutal. Every step across the frozen rivers and jagged rocks felt like a battle against the earth itself. But the pain in his heart was greater. Jagged rocks felt like a battle against the earth itself. But the pain in his heart was greater than the pain in his feet. As the air grew thinner and the mountains grew taller, Leo finally saw a humble monastery perched on a cliff. It was a place where the wind spoke louder than men. And there, sitting on a simple wooden bench, was the monk, unshakable and at perfect peace. Leo fell to his knees before the monk, his breath ragged and his eyes filled with tears. "Master," he cried, "I am broken. The people in my village mock my soul and steal my peace. Please, teach me how to be invisible so their daggers can no longer find me." The monk did not offer a prayer or a magic spell. Instead, he picked up a jagged, heavy rock from the dusty ground and handed it to Leo. "Hold this," the monk said calmly, "and walk with me." Leo took the stone, and they began to walk along the edge of the cliff. At first, it was easy, but as the minutes passed, the stone felt heavier and heavier. His muscles began to scream in pain, and his hands started to shake uncontrollably. Yet the monk kept walking in silence, his face as peaceful as the morning sun. Finally, Leo could take it no more. He stopped and shouted, "Master, this stone is too heavy. My arm is burning. I cannot carry it for another second." The monk turned around and smiled gently. "Then put it down," he said. As Leo dropped the stone, a massive wave of relief washed over his body. The monk looked deep into Leo's eyes and whispered, "Leo, the insults and the negativity of others are exactly like that stone. They throw them at you, but you are the one who chooses to pick them up and carry them everywhere you go. They walked away long ago, but you are still holding their hate close to your heart, letting it exhaust you. To be invisible does not mean they stop talking. It means you stop picking up what they throw." The monk looked at Leo and said, "To be invisible to negative people, you do not need a mountain. You need the 5 shields of silence." The monk explained, "When people throw insults, they are looking for a reaction. If you do not react, the insult remains with them. Imagine their words are like a gift that you refuse to accept. If you don't take it, who does it belong to? It still belongs to them." Shield 2, the shield of internal validation. Most people suffer because they try to build their house on the shifting sands of other people's opinions. The monk whispered, "Build your house on the rock of your own character. If you know you are a good man, 1,000 lies from 1,000 tongues cannot change the truth of your soul. Shield 3. The shield of emotional distance. The monk picked up a leaf from the ground. Look at this leaf. If I put it too close to my eye, I cannot see the forest. If I hold it at a distance, I see it for what it is, just a leaf. Do the same with negative people. Do not let them into your heart. Keep them at a distance where they cannot touch your peace. Shield 4. The shield of forgiveness is power. Forgiving someone is not a favor you do for them, the monk said with a smile. It is a favor you do for yourself. When you hate someone, you are tied to them by a heavy chain. Forgiveness is the key that breaks that chain and makes you invisible to their control. Shield 5. The shield of purpose. A man who is running toward a great goal does not stop to throw stones at every dog that barks. The monk concluded, when your purpose is bigger than your ego, the noise of negative people becomes like the buzzing of flies annoying, but powerless. Leo stood up, his heart finally light. He realized he didn't need to be invisible physically. He was now invisible emotionally. He walked back down the mountain, not as a victim, but as a master of his own mind. The world hadn't changed, but Leo had, and that made all the difference. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom.